This is the Gigabyte A16 Pro, and it is the cheapest gaming laptop you can buy with an RTX 5070 Ti. But what has it sacrificed to reach such a low price? And more importantly, is it a good laptop? Well, let's find out. I didn't even know Gigabyte made laptops. Just by looking at the A16 Pro, my first impression is, damn, this thing looks premium. It's not flashy at all from the outside and looks very sleek. It's got this embossed logo on it as well, which looks really cool. And surprisingly, its build quality is premium as well. It's got a metal top lid and a really sturdy body. The rest of its body is plastic, but you really wouldn't be able to tell. It's just built quite well. It's also thinner than a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which for a gaming laptop is pretty damn impressive. Pair that with it being relatively lightweight, and this thing can be classified as a thin and light. Overall, in terms of build, you'd think the A16 Pro is double the price of what it actually is. But the best part has yet to come. Like I said, this is the cheapest laptop with an RTX 5070 Ti, which is basically the sweet spot of the RTX 5000 GPUs, since all the GPUs below it are capped at 8 GB of VRAM. And that's starting to become a limiting factor in the newest games. Even at this low price, the A16 Pro doesn't completely cuck its GPU. It actually has really decent power limits. The only noticeable budget cut here is its CPU. The Core i7-240H isn't amazing or anything, but it should be good enough. But is that 5070 Ti actually cool enough to be able to reach those wattages and perform well? We'll have to find out. Staying on the momentum, the A16 Pro has a really good port selection. I mean, when's the last time you saw 3 USB-A ports on a laptop? And you might think, shit, its power brick is tiny. That's never gonna supply that 5070 Ti with enough power. Well, I think they're using gallium nitride for this brick, because even though it's this small, it's actually 240 watts. It also supports USB-C charging, so you can use an even smaller power brick. But just remember that performance will be considerably worse while charging like that. Now onto its keyboard. It does have an RGB backlight, but it's single zone, so no perky RGB. It does get bright enough, and you could always just keep it on a single boring color if you'd want to. But how do the keys themselves feel and sound? They feel great. The key surface is a bit plasticky, but it has good key travel and it's well balanced. It's overall just really comfortable to type on. Just below that we have its trackpad, and it's a good big size, so you won't be limited by that. And while it is made of plastic, it feels very premium and almost like it is glass. And the clicks themselves, they're well balanced, you don't need much force to press it down, and overall, again, it's just really comfortable to use. It also has a really good display for its price. With a 2.5K 165Hz IPS panel, it's almost as good as it gets with LCD screens. 1600p at 16 inches is pretty damn pixel dense, so it looks sharp from any distance. And that 165Hz refresh rate looks awesome in games. It's got fast pixel response times, so you won't see any ghosting either. And the colors on this display look great. They're very vibrant, color accurate, and it has high contrast and good looking blacks. The display also gets decently bright at 400 nits, but I do wish it was at least 500. But with a matte coating, it handles reflections pretty well, so outside use is still possible. Maybe not in direct sunlight on a sunny day though. The display hinge feels nice and smooth. You can open it up with one hand, no problem. It does wobble a bit if you directly tap it or move it around a lot, but this is not an issue during actual use, even with heavy typing. And it opens up to a full 180 degrees, so overall, a great display. Now, when it comes to speakers, that's usually where manufacturers cheap out. I mean, most people use headphones anyways. So how does the A16 Pro sound? it's actually pretty good. It doesn't get super loud and it could use a little more bass, and it's only got down-firing speakers at the bottom, so it sounds slightly muffled. But for music, it does still have more bass than the average laptop, and it just sounds pretty good. In games though, it gets very muddled and chaotic, so they don't sound amazing. Its webcam is surprisingly high quality. It definitely has muted colors, but it looks very sharp. And the microphone sounds really good too, definitely above average. What this laptop also has is some pretty cool privacy features. You have this option that when the camera detects a second face, it locks the screen while they're looking. The camera does need to be on at all times to do this though, so I wouldn't do anything too crazy with it, but this laptop is Gooner approved. But what I'm most curious about is how it performs, because it has pretty good power limits for GPU, but its CPU might be a bit lacking. Well, in Cinebench R23, this chip performs like a CPU from 2023. It's really not bad and it should be able to game just fine, but it's clear that this is one of the parts that they had to budget on. But in 3D Mark TimeSpy, it performs great. That RTX 5070 Ti should be getting plenty of power. But you can't tell real-world performance just from benchmarks. And this is a gaming laptop after all. So let's see how it performs in some actual games.
No, you... Paco, you are teaching. The last one is...
I'll hack you to pieces. Ha! You'll never take me down.
What did you do, man? No!
So in actual games, this thing did wonderfully. In GPU-intensive games, that RTX 5070 Ti is really showing its muscles. It got high frame rates in basically everything, even at its high native resolution of 1600p. That Intel Core 7 isn't the fastest processor though, so it wasn't super impressive in CPU-intensive games. But for the cheapest RTX 5070 Ti laptop, it performs really well. Its GPU frequently reaches 100 watts. That isn't the advertised 115 watts, and it is higher on more expensive laptops, but apparently that isn't a huge issue. Even at 100 watts, the 5070 Ti ran everything just fine. And with 12 GB of VRAM, it should last you quite a bit longer than a 5070 laptop as well. But none of that matters if it's an absolute oven, right? It might be powerful, but how does this laptop handle all of the heat from that power? Well, actually impressively well. In the heaviest of games, its CPU never went above 85 degrees Celsius, and that 5070 Ti also never went higher than 85, which is quite something for a body that thin. And it reaches high wattages on both the CPU and GPU, so it's not limiting itself or thermal throttling or anything. But what about its fan noise? Again, it's really not that bad, and quieter than your average gaming laptop. And during light use, it stays completely silent. Okay, we gotta find something negative about this laptop. Well, what about battery life? The last time we checked battery life with this exact CPU was with the Asus V16, and that thing barely lasted 6 hours, which isn't super good. So how long does this laptop last? Well, I tested it in 2 scenarios, under light use and during gaming. In the light use test, I played a YouTube video until its battery died, with its display at 80% brightness, at 60 Hz, and with the dedicated GPU turned off. And here it also did really well. Obviously in actual higher load uses, this number will be lower, but it still should last long enough for a full school day, which is great. And in the gaming test, I played Battlefield 1 until its battery died, with the same settings as before. And like most gaming laptops, it doesn't last very long. Please just get a gaming handheld if you want to play games on battery. What about its upgradeability though? The A16 Pro is a pretty thin laptop, so does it have any space left for modular components? Well, not really. It has soldered RAM, so you're not going to be able to upgrade its memory, but it does have 2 M.2 SSD slots, so upgrading storage should be relatively easy, and it also has a Wi-Fi card, which could be handy in the future. So far, the A16 Pro has been a great package, but what are you paying for all of this? Well, not a lot at all. The A16 Pro is the cheapest gaming laptop you can currently buy with an RTX 5070 Ti at only $1,600. It also has an RTX 5080 variant, which is, again, the cheapest laptop you can buy with an RTX 5080. And that is a ridiculously fast GPU. And it does have lower spec models as well, which are also very affordable, but those are the non-Pro models, so I'm not sure if they're as good as this laptop in general. But even in the USA, these puppies are priced damn well. I'll put some links in the description for if you're interested. So now we have to come to a conclusion. Is the Gigabyte A16 Pro worth it? Are you kidding me? This might be the most worth it laptop I've reviewed so far. This thing does almost everything right. At its price, it is the fastest gaming laptop you can buy, full stop. It has a good looking, smooth display, it has a great keyboard and trackpad, it has decent speakers, and it's really thin and lightweight for a gaming laptop, with good build quality and good looks. And all of that for a low price. It's not a perfect laptop. I mean, its display could be slightly brighter or OLED, it doesn't have the best speakers, and it does have some plasticky bits. But am I really gonna complain about those little things after all of that value for such a good price? Hell no, the Gigabyte A16 Pro is absolutely worth it. It's also Gooner approved. If you're looking for a gaming laptop around this price, just get this one. I mean, you won't regret it. Now let me give a huge shout out to my YouTube members. Soundwife, Thomas, Inky, Mr. Frosty Dude, Dropzone1, Martijn Snijkers, Flimsy, Aki, Disco Volante, Mr. Nuke, Sebastian, Christian Sands, Real Elf, Eric the Rad, Wesley Rhodes, Michael, Ghost Data, Anu Gadar, Abdullah, and Madepiece. If you become a YouTube member, you get early access to content of mine, a shout out at the end of every video, and you'll also be supporting me as a creator to make these videos. And of course, you'll also be part of the Cool Guys Club, so you can use cool emojis like these in the comment section. So join the club if you're interested. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.
6, 7.
What?